Do you drink tea?
Oh, the British people are going to disown me in an instant when I say this. No, I do not drink tea, even though I am British. Like, in my videos, I pretend that I'm drinking tea because tea, like spilling the tea, is another way of saying, like, sharing the gossip, sharing the opinion, sharing the news, and saying the thing that wouldn't normally be said or something like that. So, for example, if I'm talking to a close friend of mine, they will send me a message. They'll be like, I've got tea. That means I've got gossip, I've got an update, I've got some news, and it's normally something like interesting. So I've been starting a thing, or I'm going to start a thing with my Hello Talk videos, where I'm going to call it, instead of Hello Talk, it's going to be Hello Tea, where I spill the tea on things about Hello Talk. So because of that, I'm always like, I've got tea, we're going to spill the tea, even though it's not tea. I'm always drinking coffee.
Oh.
So in my videos, I've got little captions where when I say tea, it's like, it's coffee. It's not really tea.
Yeah. I watched it.
Yeah. So, but I feel like there are some things, like when you mentioned that you had come to the UK and eaten fish and chips, and I have said, I hope you don't eat it every day, because that's what some Japanese people have said to me. If I say to another British person that I don't eat fish and chips, they probably won't really think anything of it. But British people, when it comes to stereotypes, they genuinely do drink so much tea that if I tell a British person that I don't like tea, they will be like, what? So I feel bad being British and saying that I don't drink tea, but I don't. I'm a coffee person. Like my mug even says everything gets better with coffee.
Oh yeah. Coffee. Okay. Yeah, but in general, British people drink tea often.
Oh my god, British people drink so much tea. Like I can't remember what it was exactly, but there is a well-known event of something that happened in the UK where I think maybe it was a football match or something was on, and everyone in the UK was watching it. And when the adverts, so the advertisements came on in the middle to show in between and everybody takes a break, because during that time everybody went and put the kettle on for a cup of tea, there was a genuine power outage and a power surge in the UK because everyone put the kettle on at the same time. That is a fact that happened in the UK. And I feel like something like that could only happen in the UK. British people love tea so much that everyone in the country goes and puts the kettle on at the same time and causes a country's power outage.
In general, British people don't eat fish and chips so much.
Not as often as I think some foreigners think we do. Like for me, I maybe eat it once or twice a year. That's just me.
Really?
Yeah, it's just, but then again, you've got to remember, I told you before in another video that I do have health problems. So I generally try and avoid like fast food if I can. And I do consider fish and chips to be within that category because it's quick to get. You normally buy it from a takeaway shop and it's quite unhealthy. So I try and avoid things like that. I don't know how often the average Brit would eat it. But as I said, before we started this call, when I was talking to you, that I have been really surprised when Japanese people have come up and started a conversation with me and they're like, oh, you're from the UK. I love fish and chips. And I'm like, great, awesome. And they are like, oh yeah, when I was in the UK, I ate it every day. And I'm like, why? It's so bad for you and your taste buds. Like, I'm not gonna lie, like fish and chips, it's okay, but it's not the best tasting thing in the world. It's not. So it's like, if you're eating that every day, your opinion of the UK and British food is not going to be high at all. And it's just so unhealthy. Like why would you do that? Like, if you come to the UK, do not eat fish and chips every day. If you want to try it, go for it, but don't be that crazy.
I see.
Yeah,
it's a stereotype. So we shouldn't say, oh, do you like fish and chips? like that.
I mean, you can say it if you really want to. I mean, I'm sure most British people probably do like it, but it is a known stereotype. And interestingly, I feel like different parts of the world have different stereotypes for what they think countries are. So, in Japan, for example, if you say the UK and you associate food with it, they will immediately be like, "Oh, fish and chips." If you go to America and you say the UK, they immediately go, "Oh, crumpets and tea." As the food instead. So different countries have a different association of what they think the stereotypical food or whatever is. So it's quite interesting. I would very, very much hope that no British person eats either of those things on a daily basis.
It's not healthy.
No, you die very, very young if you eat that every single day.
Yeah, it's oily.
Yeah, you gotta eat your fruits and vegetables, no fast food. Yeah.
See, yeah, you have been to Japan, so you don't have stereotypes about Japan so much. But in general, maybe foreign people think Japanese people eat sushi every day.
Quite possibly. Sushi and ramen.
Yeah. I see. Yeah, you have Japanese friends and you have been to Japan, so maybe you are familiar with Japan. So
Kind of, but I am still relatively. I haven't discovered that like a lot of Japanese food when I think that I probably should have discovered more. So next time I go to Japan, I am definitely going to be going wild with all of the food that I'm eating. But when I was in Japan, there was a lot of ramen and sushi. Like we'd saved up quite a bit of money before going anyway, so knowing that we were going to want to eat all the food that we wanted to eat. I do also like to eat a lot of donburi dishes. So I really just enjoy like rice with some like fish or vegetables or things like that, and that can be quite good for you as well. So I'm quite happy eating that. So the person I was with absolutely loved ramen and wanted to eat ramen like all the time. I do like ramen, but I prefer donburi to that.
I see.
But there are also things that I haven't eaten either. So for example, I've been told about a Japanese food called kushikatsu.
Yeah, kushikatsu. Yeah.
I have never eaten that. Or there's another one which is similar that begins with a Y.
Why?
Yeah, like yaki something.
Yakitori.
Yes, I haven't eaten that either.
Oh, I see.
So there are still Japanese foods that I haven't discovered. I know a lot of the bigger ones that have made themselves to be quite popular in Western culture. So you've got your sushi, your ramen. When I was in Japan, I went to the convenience store. And one thing that absolutely blew my mind, that I thought tasted amazing and was genius, that I just wanted to eat all the time, was onigiri. Like, the first time I saw it, I didn't really understand it because it's packaged in a certain way. And I didn't realize it had arrows telling you what to do on the packaging. So I was opening it in a really like wrong or weird way. And the person that I was with was like, "Why are you opening it like that? Turn it around. There's an arrow. You go like this." And I realized that it was packaged in a way which made it so like easy to pull and open. And it was done in a way which kept the nori seaweed fresh. And I was like, oh my god, whoever invented this is a genius. This is amazing. Like, I was just, when I came back to the UK and everyone was like, "Oh yeah, what food did you eat in Japan? What was the thing that blew you away?" I'm like, convenience store, onigiri, that is the best. The packaging is insane. It's so clever and it's cheap. I love it. And then for Japanese people that just see it as being something that is so common and simple in your everyday life, they are shocked when I say this. Like, maybe I'm crazy.
Yeah, onigiri in convenience store. Yeah, it's very tasty and cheap, and the package it's great.
It's
And
genius. Like my
yeah,
mind, it just blew my mind.
yeah, even Japanese people think so.
Oh, that's good then. I thought that I was probably being like crazy, obsessing about something that is so simple in Japan.
It's not so traditional in Japan. It's relatively new, around maybe 20 years or 30 years.
Well, that's still enough time to get used to it.
Yeah, maybe when I was elementary school or around that, it was invented.
Mm. But I'm sure nowadays it's just a normal thing in your life. Whereas me, the foreigner going to Japan and never seen this before, picking up an onigiri and being like, wow, like this is insane. It's probably just so weird.
Yeah. And you said kushikatsu.
Yeah, I've never eaten that.
Yeah, it is popular, especially in Kansai area, Osaka area. Yeah, they love kushikatsu so much.
Yeah, when I went to Osaka, I met up with a good friend of mine that I'd been friends with online for about 5 years at that point. And he was from Nagoya, but he grew up in Osaka. So when I was in Osaka, he came to meet us in Osaka. And I said to him, like, we're the foreigners, you're the native, I'll let you plan the day and just show us what you want to show us. And he took us to get 2 foods when we were in Osaka. So we had Okonomiyaki.
Oh, yeah.
And Takoyaki.
Yeah.
So that was definitely a first time for me to eat both of those things. On the Okonomiyaki, for me personally, I thought that the sauce that they put on top of it was a little bit too powerful for me. Like it was very strong, so I didn't like it as much. But takoyaki was amazing. I would love to eat that again.
Yeah, it's they are soul food in Osaka.
Yeah, so I think that's why he took us to eat those.
Yeah, they eat okonomiyaki or takoyaki with rice.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Yeah, it's.
I suppose the rice would be good with the okonomiyaki because it means that the power of the sauce wouldn't be quite as much. Yeah.
Yeah, but in general, it's junk food for Japanese people. But
so do not eat it every day.
But in Osaka, I don't know. I'm not from Osaka, so but maybe some Osaka's people eat them every day. Eat okonomiyaki or takoyaki every day. But I'm not sure.
See, to me that's surprising because I just think there's so many foods that are amazing in Japan. Like you just can't eat the same thing every day. Having said that, I did want to eat onigiri every day.
Yeah, there are many foods. Yeah, there are variety of food in Japan, and it's cheap.
Oh, I love it. Having said that, though, one of my favorite foods is relatively on the expensive side, which is unagi.
Oh, yeah.
I love unagi. It's like, I just think it's like the best fish in the whole world. Like, eel or whatever. It was just so good. But even in, like, it's very expensive to get here. And even in Japan, when I ordered it, it was still on the relatively expensive side.
Yeah. It's relatively expensive even in Japan.
Yeah, so quite sad that one of the things I absolutely love is quite expensive, but never mind.
But you can eat cheaper eel, unagi.
Really?
Yes, in some places. Yeah, I actually you can eat less than 10 pounds unagi. Yeah.
Oh my god, this pandemic needs to hurry up and end because I'm so ready to go back to Japan now that you've said that.
Have you been to Yoshinoya? It's a cheap restaurant in Japan. It's very popular. It serves donburi. Yeah, they also serve unagi in summer. It's less than 10 pounds. And it's very delicious.
Oh, I bet it is. I'm so ready.
Yeah, yeah.
I want to go now.
How much unagi in the UK usually?
It depends on where you get it from. I think most common that I've seen, if you get, for example, unagi on with a donburi dish, it will be maybe like 15 or 20 pounds, just for that one dish.
Ooh.
That's not including the drink or dessert or sides or anything else. That's just the one dish, maybe 15 or 20 pounds for the unagi bowl.
Wow.
Yeah.
It's a Japanese style or British style? It's a Japanese restaurant.
It's unagi eel is not a British food. It's not common to see people eating that in the UK. So it's always done in an Asian style. Like I've had it at Japanese restaurants, Korean restaurants, but that's it.
I see. Yeah, in Japan, the food is very cheap compared to Western countries.
I know, and it's so sad because Japanese food is literally like my favorite food in the whole world. Like I just absolutely love it. I think it's amazing. It just tastes amazing, but it's so expensive, so I can't really eat it in the UK.
For example, ramen is usually 8 pounds or 10 pounds. 10 pounds is expensive ramen in Japan. But maybe in the UK, it's around 20 pounds. Something
I don't
like
know.
that.
I haven't I haven't eaten ramen in the UK for a long time.
Oh,
There's a really, really nice ramen restaurant up in Manchester, and they do it really authentic. It's really, really good, and it's not crazy expensive, I don't think. I can't remember how much it cost, but I stopped eating it because whenever I ate it later that evening, I would get really, really sick. So I stopped eating it. I did eat ramen when I was in Japan, and it was definitely cheaper than it was in the UK, and it didn't make me sick, which was great. But because I don't eat ramen much in the UK, I genuinely can't remember how much it costs. I think it was probably around like somewhere between 12 and 15 pounds.
I see. Maybe sushi is also expensive in the UK.
Yes, it's definitely more expensive in Japan. You can get cheaper sushi in the UK, but the quality is so bad. Like the rice, it just feels like rubber. The fish doesn't seem as fresh. Like it's just not as good. It's really not as good. You can get some really good authentic stuff. Like there's a Japanese restaurant up in Liverpool that I absolutely love called Etsu, and the quality is amazing in there, but it is really expensive. So when I'd been eating in there with one other person before, in total the bill had come to over £100.
Oh, yeah, I see. Yeah, when I went to London, I ate sushi too. It's much more expensive than Japan.
Yeah, I mean, in London, there's I think it's run by Chinese people, but there is a sushi restaurant in London in Camden called Sushi Salsa, and I've been there a few times with a friend of mine, and absolutely, it's fantastic, but it's very, very expensive. And I think that's always the way when you're going to get really good, high quality, authentic Japanese food here in the UK. It's going to be very expensive.
Yeah, but in Japan, you can eat sushi cheaper price, like 2 pieces of sushi, one dish, £1.
I'm definitely going to get fat when I go back to Japan.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm so sad. I want to eat it. I just love it. I want to go back already, but I can't. So I'll just have to wait.
Yeah.